Good afternoon, Namashivaya. I welcome you to the conference preamble series. To officially welcome the participants and the resource person, I welcome Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Ajay KL, the organizing secretary of the National Conference series. I welcome ma'am. Thank you, Suja. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Can anyone respond? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. And it's a very happy occasion for me to welcome all of you to the preamble series of conferences but we are going to organize. I'll just brief you about the conference and its preamble series. Amrita College of Nursing is organizing a workshop and a pre-conference workshop and a research conference in the month of October. The pre-conference workshop is on AI in research from concept to manuscript. That is on 28th of October. And there's a conference that is the conference is on AI in research from concept to community. That is on 29th of October. And on part of this, we are also having inviting abstract for the presentations. And this abstract will be the selected abstracts. We are tying up with the BMJ, and we would like to publish those full paper in one of the BMJ Q1 journal. So those things we will be circulating among you people. So prior to that, we are having this preamble series of workshops, and this is the first workshop what we are first webinar what we are going to have. That is publication in in high impact journals. That's today, and the last week of August we will be having a workshop on SPSS data analysis and research. For this workshop, we will be giving lifetime access to the SPSS, and there will be hands-on skills. Then the third webinar will be on evidence-based practice in healthcare. That is also on 14th of August. Sorry, the SPSS is in the last week of July. And another workshop on tool development, psychometric validation, and structural modeling will be on 2nd, so that is on 2nd September and 3rd September. So this is just to brief you about the webinar series. As I mentioned, as I could not show you the first slide, the pre-conference workshop is on AI in research from concept to manuscript, and it's offline, very limited seats. National conference is on 29th, that is on from concept to community, again offline. So abstract submission, as I already mentioned, the last date of abstract received will be on 31st of August 2026. Today evening, we will be circulating the all flyers for this. Thank you. So we will go to the webinar of today. That is the conference, the publication in high impact journals. Our resource person is Dr. Ramesh Chandrababu, PhD and a FAMER fellow. FAMER is Foundation of Advancement of International Medical Education and Research. He is Dr. Ramesh Chandrababu is an alumnus of Sri Ramchandra College of Nursing, Faculty of Nursing in Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research. And he obtained his PhD from Manipal University. And as I said, he is a FAMER fellow. Currently, he is working as professor and head of the Department Medical Surgical Nursing in Sri Ramchandra Faculty of Nursing. And if I tell about him, the awards and honors and the publication of papers, I think we will not be able to finish it within this 2 hours. So to briefly say that he has received his Dr. Jayalakshmi Jambunathan Gold Medal during his PG, and he is also awarded a scholarship for while doing his PhD, that is Dr. TMA Pai scholarship, and he received his Distinguished Alumni Award in 2019, and also a gold medal for his research works in 2020, that is TMA Pai Gold Medal, and All-Round Research Excellence Award in 2025. Coming to his academic leadership, he is member of many committees, including the IQSC, Health Professional Education Committee, Publication Guidelines and Monitoring Committee, and a recognized PhD supervisor at Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, and also Manipal Academy of Higher Education. His research profile is he has received for extramural funded fund from ICMR and DHR, and also has many copyrights, 60 scholarly publications in reputed journals, and he is resource person for more than 100 plus national workshops, organized 20 to 20 and above conferences and workshops in his own places. He's also a peer reviewer for 20 plus national and international journals, including Journal of Clinical Nursing, Journal of Advanced Nursing, BMC, Medical Education. These all are, that Q1 journals. And he is an assistant editor of his own institution's journal. His interest in varies in many areas like cardiovascular, non-communicable diseases, complementary therapy, and RCT, meta-analysis, cardiac rehabilitation, etc. So we are very happy to welcome you, Dr. Ramesh, and I hand over the mic to you for your classes. Thank you so much for having you with us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A warm good afternoon to one and all for men who are participating in this webinar. Indeed, it's my great privilege to be one of the resource person in the pre-conference webinar series organized by Amrita College of Nursing, Amrita University, Kochi. So let me share my slide. Please confirm me whether the slides are in presentation mode. Then I'll start. Yeah, hope my presentation is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So, greetings from our university, Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, Team University, Porur, Chennai. So, the topic I'm going to highlight on strategies for publishing in high impact journals. So I think the participants are, I've already seen the participants. It is very scattered. I've seen people even from Maharashtra, some are from North. So some of the known, names. I'm very happy to see. But however, I wanted to, start with a dialogue in Tamil movie. So there was a Tamil movie called Billa. So it was acted by one of the famous star of Tamil cinema industry, AK Ajit Kumar. So there comes a dialogues in a movie. It's about money. So there will be a scene where he'll be talking to the villain. He'll be saying, "Money, money, money, money." Right? So money is important everywhere. So likewise now Any deemed university you go, whichever the institutions which are affiliated under various ranking agencies. Now they say publications, publications, publications. You want promotion, you need to have publication. You want to submit your thesis, you need to, you know, uh, publish article, minimum number of articles. So that is the importance of publications now playing a vital role. And although there are several journals that are available, Scopus itself, there are about 48,000 journals you'll be seeing, that are getting indexed, that are indexed. But getting through the publication, each publication is not very easy. Even for an experienced researcher, experienced writer, or a senior and prolific author, still they will find difficulty convincing the editorial team peer review process. Like what is the difficulty that they face for the first publication, and even they might face the challenge for their 10th publication, 25th publication, 50th publication. So because the journals also do not want to accept anything whatever we submit to them, and everyone look for their metrics, everyone look for their wanted to have their good name and fame, like how the institutions are after the ranking, several ranking, NIR ranking, Times ranking, QS ranking, and then the NAC accreditation scores. Likewise, the journal also, they have their own, reputation in terms of their H index, impact factors, SNIP. So they don't want to lose their journal profile. So they are very careful in choosing and accepting the manuscript that are submitted by the authors. So it's tough situation, but however, we can navigate, and if you know the proper process or methodology to be adapted while writing the research manuscript. So I'm also still in the learning process. There is still a lot more to, still long way to go for me personally as my personal milestone. And so far, whatever I've gained, the little knowledge that I'm going to share with you for next 1.5 hour through this webinar. So my slides are not moving. One thing, I'll just stop sharing and then share it again. Every time I face this, after that it'll be okay. Yeah. So I hope I've moved the next slide. You all are able to see.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So publication is the task is like eating an elephant. And can anyone eat elephant in a single bite? Feel free to unmute yourself and then say, or you can even type in the chat box. Can we eat elephant? It's only for hypothetical situation, animal lover. Please don't file a case against me. Okay, just for an example, I'm just quoting here. Can we eat an elephant?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Okay, okay. Thanks for that response. But still, we can eat an elephant, okay, provided we need to chop them into pieces. Okay, chop them into pieces. You can't, of course, you can't eat an elephant in one bite, but we need to cut them into pieces and chop them, and then you start to eat. So don't try now, go on catching an elephant and cut and chop and eat. Then people will file you in Blue Cross. Okay, so the task is that much difficult. Okay, the publication task is that much difficult. If you wanted to have a single reputed publication in a good journal, the amount of work that you have to put is that much, gigantic one. And so that's the reason many people, they lose interest, in the process, and many people will find it fed up. "Oh, what is this? How many times we submit, and then, we keep on getting rejected." Always remember, friends, rejection is the very common in publishing in academia and also in the research world. Treat rejection as an opportunity. Do not despair, right? If option A is not working, we must choose option B. The journal A is not working for us, they have not accepted, then we might have to choose the journal B. That's all, right? So you can look at the picture. This is not how I wanted to publish. Yes, and you can see both the pictures, both tells the same theme, right? So before and after the review, right? Some of the journals will ask you for 3 times, 4 time revisions, and it's not that single go. You submit the paper, and then they accept, and then they ask you to say pay some money, and that can happen in the predatory journals and cloned journals. You need to be very aware what are predatory and what are cloned. I'll be touching upon those in the following slides. Whenever you submit the manuscript, it goes for blinded peer review, and reviewer asks so many. They might ask you for some subgroup analysis. They might ask for some, expansion of the analysis which have already carried out. They must ask you to add some statistics. Then they may ask you to explain the methodology in detail, and you might your manuscript might get changed total. The version what you prepared in the initial draft might have been changed to a different shape after you undergo the revision process. It is something very common. You have to have the perseverance. You have to accept, and it is not always that whatever the comments and the suggestions that are given by the peer reviewer, you have to accept it, and you can also give a proper rebuttal provided you have a solid reason for it. And you never need to always accept, but be polite. You must use a good tone of language when you're communicating, when you're responding to the editor comments as well as the peer reviewer comments. So the outline of presentation would be a few slides, some basic introductory concepts and importance of publication, and how to select a target journal, how to structure a manuscript, and what are all the guidelines, and what are all the most common reasons for the manuscript to be rejected, how to handle the rejection, and what are some of the tools that are available, and also I'll be touching upon how to write a cover letter, what are some checklists that we can follow for before submitting the manuscript, what are the checklists to finalize the journal, and I'll be covering all this content throughout my talk. Communicating the findings is a very vital and important, process of a researcher, of an academician. Although we have, different roles, and we must accept the challenge, because university also in need of publication, because university do not want to lose their name and ranking metrics, because research they give good scoring for ranking the university. Most of the ranking agencies they takes the metrics from Scopus, and if you see NIRF ranking, 30% of the research score the score is given for the research and research performance of the university. And the Times Higher Education ranking, STG ranking, all these are fetched from your our publications. So that is the reason university also in a situation, the institution also in a situation where mandating the PhD scholars and the faculty members to publish. Only the problem here, what we all face is the time. Yes. So we can have 10 hands and then 20 legs. And of course, we have only two legs, two hands, and we have a limited time. And we go to clinical and we teach the students. We also work as administrator. We guide the students and academic administrative task and I mean student handling issues, student problem issue. If you ask me what is the single most challenge that you face as an academician today, handling the students and by handling the present generation student issues. Despite all this, publication process should go on. We must time find. Always people say publish or perish. That's a negative statement, but I wanted to restate in a positive, publish and flourish. Publish and flourish. I'm saying this much. Even I'm finding difficult to, find the time for my own paper writing or even, the paper which are written by my scholars and what they gave it to me for the corrections. I have to spend because we do play role in the college level, I mean university level, as an administrate, I mean IQAC committee, health profession education committee, and class coordination, clinical supervision, theory teaching, and etc., guiding the students, guiding 8 weeks students. So the task is tedious, but however, we have to find a time. People, when I interacted with some of the experts who have been very successful in publications, like people those have 100 plus publications in Scopus, 150 plus publications with impact factor, I mean with H index more than 20. What they all used to say, is that even I'm also trying to adapt those strategies. Sometimes we fail. What they say, like it has to be a routine practice where we need to adapt some protected time, at least 45 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day for 3 to 4 days in a week. Best if you can able to spend 45 minutes a day for a week. You have to find, I don't know whether it is your personal time or your college hours or in the evening or morning. You must need to find that 45 minutes. If you can do that, if you can develop that culture of writing, definitely you will be successful. Most of the time, we as academician, what we face, 8 to 4, we are busy in implementation. We are on our toes. We'll be running here and there, implementing the task. For preparing those material, we sit back in the home and prepare. That's a scenario, most of the scenario, and where people will face in high demanding working environment. Right, so most of the deemed universities, which the universities which is having a name and reputation, the workload is like that, and we can blame the institution also. That's the demand of the work nature. We have to something prepare ourselves. We need to prioritize the task, and then we have to do it. So having said this, the publication journey, I hope you all can, you'll be able to, South Indians, I mean, even, people from North also will be able to identify how we identify Amrita Bachchan. We'll be able to identify our own superstar of Tamil cinema, Rajinikanth. Okay, it's from the movie called Kabali. He'll be telling Kabalida. So dialogue, Kabalida, like that he will tell. Okay, so if you wanted to be a superstar in the journey of publication, and it is not always, possible in the beginning stage, because what happens, you prepare, you conduct a research, and you do, after all your hurdles, you prepare the manuscript, and then you submit the manuscript with the flying colors. I have submitted my manuscript into Q1 journal, Q2 journal, and you'll feel like you are the superstar. Your manuscript is going to be published, and then you'll get recognition, reward out of it, and etc. All colorful dreams will be running your mind here and there. But finally, at the end of the day, what happens? This is what you'll see. Okay, you can see the right extreme and then the left extreme. So finally, your dream has become like a kind of beggar. So sorry, I must not say this word, but I was just to explain the situation I'm telling you. So to understand that the process of to understand the difficulty of the journey, I'm addressing all these words. So if you wanted to be a superstar, and if you wanted to be a superstar forever, and you need to build a culture of writing, as I said, 45 minutes a day. 45, I mean, I can say it as a mantra, 45 minutes. And how we, every day take a bath, sleep, eat, brush, likewise, at least for few years, in the beginning of your career, until you establish the, vicinity or visibility for yourself, you have to spend a protected time in order to have the publication and continue as a superstar. So I wish all the participants who are participating in this webinar to be a superstar in publication in another 5 years. I told you the journey is not going to be easy, and of course you learn many things, and it's all like, I would say all my research learning is kind of pragmatic way of learning by doing. The more you write, the more you expose, the more you learn, the more you gain. So the type of publications, so we can have scientific research, original research articles, review articles, meta-analysis, book chapters, case report, case study, short communication. In some of the journals, when you submit your manuscript, they'll say your manuscript is not fit for the complete original paper, full paper, or wherein they'll ask you to remodify your manuscript as a short papers, as a short communication. But still, that is also considered as a publication, and that will have a DOI, and that will be indexed in the database, and etc. And conference proceedings and commentary paper. So as during the opening of the webinar, in the opening remarks, the madam said that they are going to have a publications. I think they'll screen the paper that are submitted, and whichever the paper which are high in quality, and which is again accepted by the journal editorial team, and your paper may appear. But however, the abstract of all the paper can appear in the journal, and in the conference proceedings all your abstract will be published. But however, those abstract publications are not the university, most of the universities will not accept it for any kind of credential committee, like when you wanted to have for kind of promotion or your PhD submission of thesis, and all this abstract is not accepted. Okay, so that's again from university to university, the policy might vary. Okay, so that's about the type of publications. And why to publish ideally, right? So publishing is the vital step in the research. Like you wanted to have a name and fame, and you wanted to exchange your new knowledge that you are trying to uh, develop, and you have synthesized. You wanted to share that knowledge to the global scientific community, and you wanted to create evidence, and you wanted to discover some facts, new phenomena, and you wanted to be recognized, right? So suppose you publish in an area in hypertension research, say exam. Again, I'll tell you, you must choose one single area for identifying your own, visibility. And suppose you take, gamification in teaching and learning. Okay. So most of your research paper should be related to technology, mean gamification, teaching, learning, assessment, and maybe, you produce some 30, 40 papers over the period of, 5 years, 10 years. People will start to recognize you. Will get recognized. Yes, so and so person is expert in that. So let us call him or he as a resource person, to for the faculty development program, for capacity building program, something like that. Okay. And whatever the facts that you publish should be reusable. So always in a research paper, we have a discussion section, right? Discussion section is one of the important section in writing the research manuscript. Most of the reputed journal, they first evaluate your research, discussion, how well you have argued your, results. And there will be implications for future research. That's where place where the researcher can identify the research gap. So the reusability. So this is an ideal scenario where people, usually tend to publish. But practically, come to the, reality. Okay, to get a job, and to get a job in good university, after getting a job, to keep the job, whether you wanted to, I told no, publish or perish, the negative statement. Okay. So because you will be assessed performance appraisal, and you all, different universities will follow different tactics. Okay. And for you to, after getting a job, to get a promotion, like there will be a career ladder. Some of the reputed universities will be having a career ladder or career pathway, right? So to be promoted from lecturer to assistant professor, you need to have minimum this many number of indexed publications, corpus index publication as a first or corresponding author. Or to get your PhD program, minimum 2 publications. And if you wanted to have funding, the funding agencies will not just like that, give you money. They'll not, because it's a tax money. People tax money only, they give fund from, from whichever the funding agency, be it is ICMR, DHR, DST, DPT, so they also appraise the proposal. They also appraise the qualities of the principal investigator. How many publications you have done? Okay, in order to gain the trustworthy. So these are all some of the practical reasons where we are all running behind the publications, right? So whether you wanted to publish in an ideal situation or in the practical situation, you need to have a very strong manuscript. Okay. You need to have a very strong manuscript. Excuse me, I'll just take a chip of water. My throat is dry. So we need to have a very strong manuscript in order to be successful. So what makes a strong manuscript? Manuscript which has a novelty. See, most of the time, when the journal paper, your manuscript is rejected, 90 to 95%, they will tell there is nothing new in this paper. There is no novelty in this paper. And so that is and our manuscript should have a research gap, and it should have some newer information. That's one of the important basic element of being successful in convincing the reputed journal. The manuscript that are constructed and present in a logical manner. the manuscript should not be into, bits and pieces. Just cut, copy, paste. Today, everybody can become an author. Today, everybody can become a editor of the journal, editor-in-chief of the journal. Today, you wanted to become famous. Okay, you pay some money and you buy a web space. You type that society, this society. Okay, and then after some times, and starting the journal. Okay, and after some time, within 1 year, the society will have. I'm not just indirectly targeting anybody. I'm just telling about the quality. Okay, so it takes time. So we have so many societies already. We have to strengthen. I'm not speaking politically also. Okay, so let us strengthen our existing societies itself. Okay, Trained Nurses Association, very old journal. There is a journal, our own, TNA journal. Okay, so that journal we can strengthen. We can get them into Scopus. Develop the journal, right? It's all about the collective effort. And I'm just people, just people wanted to become so famous in very quick time. Like over the night, one cannot become Obama. Okay, so we need to have consistent effort, discipline, hard work, sincerity, perseverance, a lot of work. So then only you can get the name and fame one day. And people again should not work for name and fame. Right? People should work for the satisfaction. Right? So people will get wrong site, and then they will tell you this journal is indexed to. They will create some journal. They will say 3,000 rupees is the publication fee. All these are the sources of predatory journals. We must be very careful, especially the novice people, the scholars who are trying to publish, who are in desperate because you wanted to have your publication. But you publish, you do sincerely the research, collect data after all your difficulty, and just go and dump your publication in the predatory journal. When you go and claim to the university say your paper is not indexed and this is a fake journal, and you better come back with good publication. So you need to be very careful. So your manuscript should have a novelty, constructed and presented in a logical way. Your scientific message must be clear, useful. The reviewers and editors must catch the message that you are trying to communicate. Should be very easily, they must be able to understand. So all these constitutes a strong manuscript. So you have a strong manuscript, you are prepared. Okay, I'll tell you, like in the methodological aspects, I'll be telling how to write the structure, a manuscript, etc. Avoid predatory journal. That's very, very important. Okay. Avoid predatory. I mean, the right side which I am presenting, all these are the quality journals. Those don't misunderstand. Okay. All these are predatory. They are all top class journals. Journal of Advanced Nursing, Journal of Clinical Nursing. For example, I have a publication in Journal of Advanced Nursing. I did fifth time revision. After 5 revision only the journal accepted. Because that's a Q1 top, which comes under the top 10 percentile. Top 10 percentile, and they have impact factor, always above 3.54, around something like that. And so we must select a quality journal. Our target journal identification is the first step in the success in the ladder of your publication. Okay, we must identify, are we choosing the right journal, or we are going to waste the effort into some journal, which is not having any, recognition or metrics. Okay, and who are the journal audience? What type of articles the journal publishes? So that there is something called as journal scope. So if you may be having a good manuscript, you may be having chosen a very right journal, but still the manuscript may be getting rejected. The reason may be your manuscript is not within the scope of that particular journal. Like any journal, you go to every journal these days have their own web page. In the author guidelines or about the journal, you go and click the interface, they clearly explain the manuscripts which are falling into all these categories are accepted in our journal. Okay. But some journals will be there. They accept A to Z. Whatever you submit, they accept technical paper, technology paper, they accept the science paper, they accept the chemistry paper, they accept the history paper. All those are, you know, clue for you to understand they are predatory. Okay, they do the fake claiming. Their website will be telling that we are indexed in Scopus, PubMed, our impact factor is this, their site factor is this, our source normalized impact factor, SNP factor is this, all this blah 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 blah. When you go and check the authenticity of the journal, everything is bogus. Your effort also waste, your 3,000, 4,000 rupees also waste. Instead, we could have had 10 times biryani, nice biryani. These days, 300 rupees, you'll get nice chicken biryani, you'll get. Okay. So be very careful, avoid predatory journal. You must select a good quality target journal. So what are the type of journals that are available? There are generally two types of journal available. Classification of the journal, subscription-based journals, open access journal. On top of it, there is a group of journal called as hybrid journals. Okay. First, let us see the difference between open access journal and subscription journal. Many people think that still there is no awareness for even experienced faculty also. They always think that if you wanted to have a good and quality publication, you need to spend lakhs and lakhs of money. It is a myth. It's not like that. It is not always that you have to pay a money. When I published in Journal of Advanced Nursing, I did not pay money, but the journal has chances about chance. They give a chance for us to choose whether to publish in a subscription mode or open access mode. So if you choose open access only, you have to pay the money. If you go for a subscription mode, you never need to pay money. Okay. So there are journals. Most of the journals are hybrid journals. Like they give option of open access. They publish both the mode, open access mode, also in subscription mode. When you submit the manuscript, the journal, they will ask you whether you wanted to publish your manuscript in open access or subscription. So you need to select subscription. So again, don't think that if I select open access, my manuscript will, because I'm going to pay money, my manuscript will go. No, they will not accept. Again, here the matter is the novelty and how well the manuscript have been structured, how well you have written your manuscript. That's very, very important, basic, essential need of the being successful in publication. Okay. So what is the option? What are the benefits of having an open access publication, which is freely available? Okay, once it is published, it's freely available to all. There's no any financial or legal or technical barriers. Anyone can read, download, copy, and distribute, print. You can circulate. Unrestricted distribution, and authors are getting benefits. More and more people are, viewing your research work, your paper visibility. You get more citations. Okay, and funders. If suppose somebody is funding for your work, and their work to be having more visibility. Okay, and they wanted to make an impact. In that case, also open access. Suppose you are doing some product-based research. You wanted to, market your product. Then you go for open access publications. Okay, so you need to have a money, and money is, important criteria. Okay, and most of the journals, open access, charges ranges. It ranges from, it starts from usually from 40,000 to 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs it goes. Plus one journals and all, they charge about 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs. So there are journals, 40,000 they charge, and 1 lakh they charge. And we'll come to know by reading the author guidelines of the journal. So you have a gold route, green route. Gold route, you pay and money and publish. And green route, you go as in a subscription mode, and you don't need to pay any money, and you can still publish your manuscript. So golden route, you have to identify a reputed journal and send your paper for peer review, and the paper will go for blind peer review, and after it is accepted, you'll be asked to pay APC, article processing charge. Not that all the open access journal ask money from the author as APC. Some of the journal which are funded by the society itself. Suppose example, Indian Pediatric Association. I'm just telling, okay. And if they have a journal, and if the society, if the organization is bearing the cost, the author will not pay. Author will not to pay. That they will mention in the author guidelines. That we have to read the author guidelines. For example, in the beginning, in fact, my first Scopus publication was in International Journal of Nursing Sciences. That was published by Chinese Nursing Association. Now it's a Q1 journal, which is having 3 and above impact factor. For the first 3 years, they did not charge any money because the society was, taking the, publication cost. So, I was able to publish some 2-3 papers in that during that time. But once they time to time they change the author guidelines, and we need to very careful identify. You need to be very careful. Like without reading the terms and condition, if you just submit your manuscript, finally they'll ask you to pay money. You'll find difficult. You have to pay your money. They will ask you mail back and back. They will write you email. Okay, so to collect their money. I mean, I had such worst experience also with one journal. I don't want to mention the journal. Okay, so we need to be very careful. Always read the author guidelines when it is coming to payment, and make sure, understand. If you don't understand, please clarify with your colleague, and then you proceed. In order to identify an open access journal, there is a directory website, like directory of open access journal, DOAJ. So this is the website. It will navigate you to the details regarding the open access journal, wherein you find about 15,000 journals are open access. 15,000 journals. You can also search discipline wise. Okay. And here also you can identify open access journal, but still, they are free. As an author, you're not paying a money. With that, you will read the author guidelines and you have to understand. Then you need to know about when selecting the journal, you need to know about quartile ranking. Okay, Q1, Q2, most of the participants who are from deemed universities will be knowing what are this Q1 quartile ranking. It is based on the performance of the journal, based on the research metrics, citation metrics, the journals are ranked. Okay. So if the journal, the percentile score is from 75 to 100, they come to the category of Q1. And 50 to 75 Q2, 25 to 50 percentile Q3, and 1 to 25 is is a Q4. So if you see, as the ranking is going higher, their H index also will be higher. Okay. So this indexing, they organize by discipline and by subject. For example, medicine, nursing. So there is we can we can identify it in the Scopus database. And so if you ask me, if your paper want to be in safer, okay, and always try to publish in Q1, Q2, Q3. Avoid Q4 unless until it is a authentic publication done by a reputed publishers. If it is the journal is from elsewhere, Wiley Publishers, Springer Nature, then still you can go for Q4. There are now many journals. Now it's a business. Now you will find Facebook, Insta, messages scrolling. First slot 10,000 rupees. Second slot 9,000 rupees. Third slot 6,000. Fifth slot 4,000. Okay, it's a business. So all they have some group of network and group of these journals. I mean, somehow they would have got into Scopus. Okay. But then once they get into Scopus, they do all this nonsense and to make money, to mint money. And then there will be a junk of article. There will be kind of free radar publication. Too many publications will flow in. Then the Scopus will throw out of the indexing agency. By the time you publish your manuscript, the journal will be out of the Scopus. Your manuscript, your article may not be traced in the Scopus. So that's why always choose Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 if they are from reputed publishing agencies. You can go for Q4 publications. So how to identify the best journal? How to identify the best target journal for my publication? Okay, so what are the factors? Journal should have a H index height. It is calculated against the number of papers and number of citations. If suppose if author A is having 5 citations, his 5 papers are at least cited for 5 times each of the papers. That is the way they calculate the H index. If the journal is having 300 impact factor, which means 300 paper of the journal have been cited for 300 times. So that is the meaning of H index. Okay. As the H index going high, the journal reputation is also going high. High impact factor. So impact factor, so it's like, Clarivate, Web of Science, Wiley Group say impact factor, and then the Scopus people say site factor. So it is calculated number of citations published by the journal over a period of time divided by total number of the articles. For 2 years, they'll calculate for impact factor, whereas for site score, which is given by Scopus, I think it is for 4 years, I believe. Okay, so and then should contain DOI, digital object identification. Okay, so that's and then price, whether if you wanted to have open access publication, or will you be able to bear the cost of publication, or it is free of cost. And at least if it is under UGC care list, you all know, if you're a scholar, if your university is accepting UGC care list, you can go to the UGC website. They also keep updating the list of publications. Most of the reputed publications which are indexed in Scopus, PubMed will come under UGC. Okay, and the journal which has the strong peer review. Okay, So all these are, some fact that you have to identify to select the best journal. How to identify the predatory journals? Check the website thoroughly. Okay. Research the editorial board. I told you, International Journal of Jamaican African Journal of Nursing Sciences, blah, 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 blah. Big name will be there. Okay. And if you see the editorial board, one person will be from Netherlands. Of course, a person can be from different country. Okay. At least the journal should have one common, scope. Okay. One person will be from geography background, one person from engineering. Okay. One person from, biological science. This itself will give us a clue. Okay. Whether they are, original people or fake people. Okay. And faking the information. Okay. Research the editorial board, and so, the editorial, by looking at the editor-in-chief profile itself, will come to understand whether it's a good journal or not. It all comes by experience. Okay. And check whether the journal is member of COPE, okay, and DOAJ, and have whether they have a proper peer review process, publication timeline, okay, and there are journal finder tools which I'll be telling. In the beginning itself, they will tell, okay, this is the timeline. If you submit the manuscript, you will get the first decision within this many days. Okay, peer review will get this many days, and your publication will be this many days from the time of submission. Clear information they will give. Okay. Predatory journal, they don't usually go for strong peer review. They don't go for peer. First of all, they don't know what is the process of publication. Their intention is page setting, collecting money. They want that 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees from your packet. Okay, so they receive the manuscript. You'll find that today's the manuscript is submitted, and day after tomorrow your manuscript is published. Okay, so all these are predatory practice. Check the journal's contact information. Predatory journals usually they don't give the proper contact details. They don't give the proper email, or only one email will be there. They will not give the contact, official site address they will not give. Who's the corresponding person for the journal? All those will be missing. Okay, so that we have to check for identifying the predatory journals. And read and go through the past issues of the journal, whether they have a periodic journal, publications, their issues, archive, journal archives. Okay. So see, each journal will have their own standards. Like in an issue, we'll be publishing this many original articles, this many case reports, this many review articles, okay, this many invited papers, editorial, like so they'll be having, okay, so they'll be having a proper archival system, okay, and can look at that itself, we'll be able to understand whether it is a predatory journal. Sometimes you'll find some 10 articles, sometimes you'll find only one article in issue. All these are some of the information, for us to get the know whether it is a fake journal or predatory journal. Okay, and there is a website, think, check, and submit. There is a checklist also. I'll 3-page checklist. If you go to the website, you'll be able to read more and more information about identifying a proper journal. It's a website. I just took a screenshot, and I kept it in my slide, and you can read more on that. And I'll also share. I'll share the PPT content to the organizer. I think they are going to share it to all the participants. And also the checklist also I'll share this check, submit. And when you read that, you'll be able to identify, am I choosing the right journal for my publication or not? And these are all the journal finder tools. Each and every publishers, they have their own journal finder tools. For example, elsewhere they have journal finder, and then Springer, they have journal suggester. Okay, like a CH Taylor and Francis, Web of Science, Wiley, Okay, all these are the web platform where you can search the proper journal for your, to select the target. For example, the web page of the journal finder will be like this of the elsewhere journal finder. So once your manuscript is ready, you have prepared your manuscript, and you need to paste the title of your paper, and then here you have to paste the title, and then you have to copy and paste the abstract here. Do you all see the cursor is moving on the screen? Can anyone confirm?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then you have to give keywords, like keywords. Then you give a search. The journal finder will populate the list of journal for us. In that, you will get all the details, whether it is an open access journal or subscription based. Okay. What is the text match? So there will be some small box, and which will be indicated in green color. And also they'll mention the percentage, 25% of text match, 50%, 75. If your text match is about 50%, then there is a chance. They'll also tell the timeline when the article will be, how long, the probable time of peer review, and how long it will accept, something like that. They will give all the details. You will get it. Okay, just you just Google and you try it for yourself. You will get all the information. And in fact, if you use this kind of platform, whether it is a Wiley journal finder, or Springer journal Juster, or elsewhere, and each journal's web link will be available there itself. If you click there, it will take to that official page of the journal, wherein you can avoid the predatory journal and also the cloned journal. I hope you all know the meaning of cloned journal. Cloned journal, the web page will exactly look dicto. If, for example, if I tell a journal called International Journal of Nursing, there will be one more web page, International Journal of Nursing. You will find all the editorial board and the design, everything will be, but exactly not, it will be fit exactly. But here and there, we are in busy mind, no, we are not like scanning with the lens for all these factors. Okay. So, of course, their logo, some of the information, some mismatch will be there. Okay. But when we use this kind of platform, will not land in those kind of clone journal. Again, your clone journal also, you pay your money, everything, you will believe that this is the original journal. But after, when you go and check the authenticity, but they are belonging to fake category. Okay, so use these platforms to identify a journal. So this is the interface of Wiley Journal Finder. Like manuscript title, we have to. It's not that entire manuscript you have to paste. That 20, whatever the 250 or 200 words abstract that you are preparing, you give the title here, and then give the paste the abstract, and then give a search. It'll also give you the list of journals. At the end, maybe I'll show the the journal elsewhere. I'll show you. Okay, the journal finder tool. Then after we select the journals, we have to measure the journal impact, like how far it is usage, metrics, alt metrics. All these are some of the details. And then journal Imago ranking. SJR. This is again the website where you can go and read the journals details in detail, and it will give the details of the journal, when it is started, and whether there is any name change, whether it is covered in Scopus from when, which year. See here, 2002 ongoing. Okay, in the Nature Review Genetics. Suppose 2000 to 2025, if it is appears, this journal was indexed in Scopus, but up to 2025. Okay, so not in 2026. Okay, so we have to check all this, check we have to do. And So there are some other factors, how much time you have. Like if you want to have a fast publication, you need to have a time, because we are all under pressure to submit. You want to have a promotion, you want to submit your thesis, and you see, suppose how quickly the journal is publishing. All these are the factors. Okay. Suppose you want to have your manuscript being published. There's no single answer I can give you. What is the average time? Because the journal takes minimum 3 months to 6 months to publish Scopus index. Minimum 3 months to 6 months. There are some times where even within a month your paper get published. Okay, and within 2 months. Sometimes your paper might take 2 years also. It depends on the journal. Okay, and also you see how frequent the journal issues are. Suppose if the journals are having monthly issue, your paper likely to get published faster. If suppose the journal is having four issues, okay, so they will waitlist your article. They will be already having the article, so they will waitlist your article. All this. So open access, all these are other factors that you have to consider while choosing the journal. So this is in nutshell whatever I've been speaking. These are all the kind of a checklist that you need to follow, and this you can read and understand. When the slide is given to you, I'm not going to whatever I've been highlighting all this time for just journal selection. Journal, to select a target journal, you have to have all this checklist before you select the journal. Okay. Then this is the checklist for predatory journal identification. Okay. So confirming the index through official data, that is what I was telling, right? So if you go to the journal web finder, and you from there you navigate the journal, and these predatory journals can never get inside the journal identification tool. Okay, you can avoid the predatory tool, and then you can also see the editor. Okay, with their verifiable affiliations. Okay, be cautious. If they accept the paper very rapidly, okay, very fast, within 2 or 3 days, they are predatory. Even within 1 week, they may be predatory. Extremely rapid publication, that is a predatory journal. Most of the reputed journal, they will not send you email asking for publication. Most of the reputed journal. Okay, you go to spam, you go and check your spam. Okay, all those are spam messages. I'm not saying that reputed journals will not ask for papers. Yes, of course, they'll ask for papers in their website itself for special editions. They'll ask. They'll not, individually contact you. We are, publishing like that. Okay, and almost most of the reputed journals, they clearly, display the peer review policies. They display the APCs, publisher information, contact details. Okay, everything will be there in a reputed journal. Predatory journal, it's all like, just all the by having the glance of the website itself, one could be able to identify whether it's a predatory or fake journal. Okay, that comes, you have to analyze. Poor website quality, the spam emails, fake metrics. The journal would have started 2 years back only. 2 years back itself. He will claim our impact factor is 7.8. See, to get into Scopus itself, the journal should have the age history of minimum 3 years. After 3 years only, the journal can get into the Scopus or any other, Web of Science. Or how can he can claim our impact factor is 8.2, 7.5? This is why I tell like faster money making. Fake people. Okay, and then misleading names. See, all these are some of the red flags where you can identify the predatory journals. Okay, cloned journal. I was telling about the cloned journal. Again, here you have to identify journal through the publisher's official website. Okay, again, the same mechanism. Identify the journal through journal finder. Okay, and ensure you can also cross check with the Simago SJR ranking. Okay, and you can verify the impact factor. Okay, and here also by looking at the website, we can identify. Okay, always submit the manuscript through the official journal submission system. Okay, so that elsewhere uses is submission portal, something like that. Okay, so even that will give us a clue. Okay, they don't ask through the email. Okay, and always submission portal will be used. And the genuine journals will give the institution details. The clone journal will not give you the institution proper contact details and etc. Okay, and all these are some of the checklist for us to identify the clone journals, and then see why I'm spending this much of time. You want to have a high impact publication. These are the strategies. If you don't land in a right journal, all your effort is waste. Okay, and okay, now the journal selection is over. You have done all the check, and you have identified your target journal. You see the pathway here, roadmap to publication. Okay, author is author is very much happy. He is having the manuscript, and then is the first paper is going. The editor-in-chief standing with a butter knife. Okay, very big knife. Okay. And the manuscript has to, go through the desk level screening. Okay, there is something called as desk rejection. I'll tell that. It will not even go to the assigned editor or peer review process. The editor itself will, write a very nice love letter to you. Okay, why I say it love letter? When you read that rejection, you will not feel that, they will very polishing way they will write. Dear so and so, although your manuscript is interesting and publishable, but we do not have sufficient space. This time we disappoint you, and however, we are not accepting the manuscript for the further processing or publication. But however, we are not discouraging you also for the future submission. So that's why I told you love letter. Most of the time, today you submit the manuscript, most of the reputed journal will do that for us. Okay. Today morning you submit, today evening you will get, or next day morning you will get. Okay. So if at all, if it is going through, then the assign editor, he will check the technical aspects of your paper, and then he will assign to the reviewer 1 and 2. You all now can recollect the image that I've shown before. Superstars 2, okay, beggar how, or the two picture I have shown, okay, how a gentleman become a colorful multiple, multiple colored man, okay, all this, so you have to, address all the reviewer. Then finally, your paper will get accepted. Then finally, you are getting succeeded. So this just the flow of this is how the peer review process happens for you to understand, so that you make the manuscript which is very strong, so that it won't get struck or get rejected by anybody. Okay. So author submits the article, which is assessed by editor-in-chief, and if they are not happy, they reject in the desk level itself. And if it is convincing, they send it to the peer reviewers. Reviewers will go to the comments and they give the comments, and then they send back for the revision. Okay, then the revision is required by the authors. Then author resubmits, and at this stage also, you can still have 50% of rejection. If you are not responding properly to the peer reviewer comments, your paper still will be rejected. You need to be very careful. How to respond, I'll tell that later. Then if your process, if you are convinced your paper is going for production and it is published. Okay. Now we saw the the pathway roadmap for success. Now, how do you write? How do you write? How do we write? Okay. We have to follow four rules, four important rules for writing. Rule number one, read the author guidelines. Number two, set target and count. Pay minor attention to the author guidelines. See, most of the editor-in-chief, they're all big shots. They don't how you don't have time as an assistant professor, the lecturer, when you don't have time, find time. The same thing goes with the editor-in-chief and editorial board also. They also don't have time. They also don't want to waste their time. Okay, so even if you are not following Sarath journals, if you are not following a proper full stop, comma, proper reference formatting system, they'll reject it. They'll reject your manuscript. Seek criticism. Give it to your mentor. Give it to your colleagues who can effectively read and then criticize. Okay, and submit. After submitting, if you are getting rejection, do not despair. Treat it as a start of the next submission. Okay, so these four rules always you must have in your mind. These are the four rules for effective writing. Author guidelines. Again, I reiterate, read the author guidelines. It's very, very important. Follow the author guidelines of the journal and strictly adhere to it, especially if you wanted to publish in a reputed journal. They will tell our table should be this format. Our figure should be this format. Okay, our table number should be this way. Your manuscript should have this many sections. This many, everything they'll be giving clearly. You have to follow. This should be structured in such a way. Your abstract should be this many words. Your keyword should be from the PubMed only, mesh terms only. Your table should have a footnote. Okay, your figures, your table should be kept at the end, not inside the manuscript. So all these are the minor, details that we have to give. So we have to read the author guideline first. How I will, do, I'll just tell. How I used to do. The best way, if you have the manuscript, okay, you have some research data with you, you have analyzed, you have written, you have the dissertation with you. Now you are trying to convert them into publication, right? So what usually I will do, I will select the target journal first. After I select the target journal, I will download the author guidelines of the journal. I will read the author guidelines once. Then I'll also download the sample article published in the journal from the latest issue to maybe 2 or 3 issues back. Suppose if I'm trying to publish an RCT, I download 2, 3 RCT articles that have been published in the journal. Then I'll read those articles, I'll glance, okay, and I also have read the author guideline. Then I will start to structure the manuscript. So you will come to understand this is what the journal expects. If you ask me, I'll ask one question now. Okay, can anyone tell? Who is the best friend for you to publish? Who is your best friend? Can any one of you unmute and tell? Who is the best friend for you to publish? Nobody, sir. Nobody is helping. Is that the answer? Can anyone? Who is the best friend? Sachin Rathod. Myself, me. Okay, fine. Myself, sir. Okay,
One who criticizes us, sir.
very good. Okay, fine. Guide maybe, fine. Somebody is playing with the cursor there. Please stop playing, okay? Yeah, something. Me, okay. Okay, most of you have said me. Fine. It's not you, okay? It's not you, or it's not you, or it's not. Yes, of course, your guide, your mentor will help you. But I'll tell you who's the best friend for you. This is the already published paper. Already published paper in the reputed journal. I told I selected target journal. I will read the author guidelines and I'll download the sample article and read. That is my friend, my first friend. Then after that, after I structure the manuscript, then I may give it to my mentor, my supervisor. So go this way. Okay, so you'll definitely your manuscript will not be rejected. Okay, so you will prepare your manuscript as per the journal's expectations. The editor also will be convinced. The peer reviewer also will be convinced. But of course, it should have the scientific material and all those, that is secondary. But structuring your manuscript. Okay. Next, author guidelines. We'll tell you how long article should be, how it should be structured, how many headings should be, how many subheadings, what is the reference formatting, okay, whether they are asking for APA format, Vancouver style, Harvard style, okay, so that you have to adhere. And then the reporting guidelines, this is also very much important, if you are going to report an RCT, you have to follow consort guidelines. Consort guidelines. And if you are reporting non-RCT, non-randomized control trial, trend. Prisma for systematic review. STRO for cross-sectional. Correct guidelines for qualitative. If you want to write a case report, there is something called as CARE guidelines. Okay. Nancy Priya is playing. Please don't play. Okay, it's very important session that I'm leading. Important for everybody. Please do not disturb the session. Okay. Most of the reputed journals will ask for the checklist of these guidelines. Okay, so Consort has the check. Some 27 item checklist will be there. For example, sample size estimation. Which page which is reported? You have to mention in the checklist. The randomization process or the sampling technique, which page you have described. So along with the manuscript, you have to upload this, the consort checklist also. If you are publishing the stroke guidelines, if you are publishing the cross-section study, you have to, upload the stroke checklist with given information. That's very important. Many times, our Indian manuscript, why we don't follow the author guideline, we don't write in a proper way, and our sample size, we never is. Even now only see most of the deemed universities, reputed universities, now we make the students to go for sample size calculation. But still, you see, like just like that, take 30 sample. Take 30 in control group, 30 in experiment. Take So these are all the reason where we know we lack. I mean, that's why we don't find our Indian papers are not getting converted into Scopus or Scopus Indus publications. Okay, we have to do systematically. And this is the Equator Network. Maybe knowing, you may be knowing. You can go to this website and all the reporting guidelines of the research. Consort, CARE. You'll be able to download their extension. In fact, some of them have their own website also for having. For example, Prisma has their website. Can go and further download the details of Prisma, something like that. Structuring the manuscript, you all know, IMROD structure we follow. introduction, results, and methods. Okay, and you must easily the author should follow, the reader should follow, the editor should follow, whomever is trying to communicate, I mean, trying to read, should understand the message, get the message what you are trying to do. Okay, and the inbred structure, very familiar, like not even explanation, introduction, methods, results, discussion, and conclusion. This is the structure. And then of course, we have a title, abstract, and keywords. In abstract also, we'll be having the same structure. So here you see the child is playing. The content may be looking very small, step by step. Okay. The process is like how the child is playing this building, like building a block. Okay. And the same way, okay, how the child is using the Legos to build a block. As an author, we have to build our manuscript like that. We have to build our manuscript. You have to spend time. Okay, you have to give importance to minute details. Nothing you should take it, easy or granted. That will lose impression. Okay, so we have to take, I mean, it's like a serious affair. Okay, it's like how you have to seriously love. You have to seriously love your manuscript. No other hope. Okay, commitment. Okay, so manuscript should build the block. You must build the manuscript block by addressing all these areas. Okay, this is X-ray, the skeleton of your manuscript. Introduction, background, title, aims, methodology, data collection, validity, ethical consideration, data analysis, all this. A title and keywords, okay, should be matching and consisting. I mean, they must be consistent. Okay, a title should be attracting the reader. It may be concise. Don't write your title as a paragraph. Okay, the title must highlight the importance of the research. It should convey the main findings, main theme that you are trying to address or communicate. And example, here there are 3 titles. Okay, you can read the 3 titles, you will come to understand which is the best one. First title, thus vaccinating children and adolescents with inactivated influenza virus inhibit the spread of influenza in unimmunized residents of rural community. Okay, this title has too many words. The second title, influenza vaccination of children, randomized. The title is very short. It's not having enough information. Look at the third one, effect of child influenza vaccination on infection rate in rural community, randomized. This is an effective title. It is short, easy to understand, which conveys all the message and important aspects of the research. Okay, so there is abstract. Abstract is face is the index of the mind. This is the proverb we all know. Okay, your abstract is the index of your manuscript. By reading the abstract, first people will, what they will do, they'll read the right title and then abstract. Your abstract should be well written. Okay, and it is a summary of your entire manuscript content. Okay, and it's a shortcut for the people to read and understand. If they are further interested, then they'll go in detail. Okay, and keep the sentence short but meaningful, and should convey the message of that entire work in that 200-250 words. That's a little challenging. That is the reason abstract and title should be the last step in research manuscript writing. First, don't start with the title and abstract. It should be the last step. First, you have to start with the results, tables, figures, then the discussion, then the methodology, then the conclusion, then the introduction background, then comes the abstract and title. Why? Because you are living your manuscript before you write. You will know what I should communicate in the 250 words after you live in the manuscript. That's why this is a last step. Abstract and title writing is the last. And there is something called as SEO factors, search engine optimization factors. What is that search engine optimization factors? Some of the journals, standard journals also look for it. If we have chosen some of the important keywords in your manuscript, you must make sure that that keywords is represented starting from the title till the conclusion, so that the search engine will capture your manuscript, will have better visibility, better citations, wider reach for the to the viewers. So that is the SEO factors. Okay, so all this you have to have in mind when you prepare your abstract as well as your manuscript. Keyword should be taken from mesh. Okay, standard keywords you have to take it, and it should represent the entire content. Okay, and repeat the keywords what you have used in the what you have listed both in the abstract and the manuscript. And then go for most of the journal will ask for mesh database. Okay, from that is from the PubMed you will be getting medical subject heading. So have the fact of key factor of search engine optimization in your mind, that you try to replicate the keywords throughout the manuscripts. Introduction, you all know, like it should not be too lengthy. Dissertation, you will be writing 10 pages, 15 pages. Okay, manuscript doesn't give you that much scope, because the journal will say our manuscript total allowed permissible word is 3,000 words, 4,000 words, including the references. Sometimes they'll say. So it should be very short and should address the scientific gap and why this your research, what is the problem, and what is already known about the topic, and what is the gap, and what is the new information. Here comes the novelty, and you conclude with your aim. This five-step approach you have to use, and maybe 1 page or 1.5 page, or maybe 700 or 800 words may be permissible, depends on the journal. You read the journal policy, author guidelines, you'll be able to write. And then introduction. Okay, make sure your citations are proper. Okay, and citations are current. Do not use beyond 7 years. I will say even 5 years. But there is a dearth of literature. You don't get literature, so you may still allowed to use the old references. But sometimes some article, some information will be the milestone article. In that case, you are allowed to use that old. And you must use relevant information. Okay, and those studies should be related to your research. I mean, simply I want to give some citation, simply I'm listing the generating the references. No, it doesn't work out. In these days there are softwares, AI readers, where when we analyze the manuscript as a reviewer, it will take to the list of references. Okay, it will tell, how many are the good references or weak references. So the reviewers, will analyze. And one important, avoid predatory sources, which will weak your manuscript. Do not use the predatory journal. Do not use the predatory publication even in your background. It will weaken your manuscript. Then the material methods. You have to use the subheadings just to read the previous publication of a target journal, how they have written. Usually it will like a design, setting, okay, inclusion criteria, sample size, okay. And suppose if there is some studies used, then you have to cite it, and the sample size of the study is calculated referring to the previous, article, and then that citation you have to state all statistical parameters, okay, and specify the study design, population, and give more detail about the intervention. Suppose you say yoga was given, where the yoga was given, how many session, whether follow-up session, it was the asanas or pranayamas or combination of both, or how many sessions were given, how many minutes for asanas, how many minutes for breathing exercise, who provided the intervention, whether training was given, okay, whether the yoga was given by the trained person, where it was given, privacy was given or not. Okay, all this minute detail, very minute detail we have to give. Okay. And we have to describe the data collection methods and the instruments, their validity, reliability, and mentioning about the ethical, considerations. If you have CTR registration, provide that number. Okay, mention about the ethical clearance and inform the consent. Okay, and then we have to outline the analysis method and with the purpose. Repeated measures and over are applied to test the hypothesis. Like that, we have to write. The results use subheadings and it should be presented in logical and order of importance. You'll be having some 3 or 4 outcomes, and in that, what is your primary outcomes? Those outcomes you list first, then comes other outcomes. Use past tense. Most of the time, students, will in this, chi-square will be used to us. Already research is over. I mean, you are telling that without research, you are writing the manuscript. Okay, use past tense always. You are to describe the results. Okay, and however, when you are citing the figure and table, the summary of the study participants are included or presented in table one, like that. You can use present tense. Okay, so that clarity we need to have. And common mistake people will do, whatever the content that is there in the table, restating that. Do not do that. That is a false practice, and the editors do not want. And you may highlight some few important information, what is there. Okay. Instead, we can summarize the information. Okay. And it is always better to read the data in table than in the sentence. So if suppose you are given some numerical, always try to go for table, better table. Okay. And do not duplicate the array, like for same table, you will give a table, summary, and also a figure. It is not advisable. Do not duplicate. Okay. And include the statistical values properly and provide p values wherever possible. And overstating is also not important. That is especially in the discussion. Okay, I'll tell. So discussion, again, I told you, discussion is very important section. It has to be written detailed and elaborately. First, we have to state the main findings, and we have to interpret the study findings, and we are going to compare our study findings with the existing studies. How many are supporting, how many are opposing, and we have to discuss some policy or implications for future research practice. And no research is 100% perfect. Every research has its own limitations. So address the limitations of the research. Present the strength followed by limitations of the research, and then always offer perspectives for future research. Okay. And do not overstate. If suppose, see, we all know the effect size, Cohen's effect size of research. Like they say 0.1 to 0.3 mild effect, 0.4 to 0.6 moderate effect, 0.8 to high effect. So, if suppose there is a mild effect size in the statistical value, you cannot say highly statistically significant. It's like overstating your research. All these minute things they will check. Okay. And they were significant like that here. And you cannot say where there is only a significant, where you are trying to say highly statistical. All these are the important things they will check, which means we are exaggerating the findings of the research. So all these things to be avoided. And then discussion, it should be short. Do not use too many words. Don't repeat the same words that were used in the results and discussion. Describe what your results means to the context of the literature. Looking at the patient perspectives or societal perspectives. Always your conclusion should be linked back to your research aim and the introduction, the title. So these facts you have to have in your mind to conclude your manuscript. And references, it should be complete. So there should be a proper matching of the references. So if you are citing, so most of the time, Indian people, our people, what we do, like when we write, one big paragraph will be there. At the end, only one citation will be given. Or some 3 para will be there. Then after 3 para, one citation will be there. And that citation also will not be a proper citation. To which sentence you are giving the reference. Cross-matching, cross-referencing, not doing it properly. You are just citing here and then the end something is there. And that also is identifiable now with A. If you see well-structured manuscript from a reputed journal, for 1.5 sentence, one sentence, there will be 2-3 citations. Okay. And some of the journals expects their own, in this, some of the practical tips, some of the journal expect their own article being cited in that manuscript to improve their citations. Okay, suppose if you are, but that paper should have that the same scientific relevance, subject relevance. Suppose you are publishing a journal called the International Journal of Nursing, say example. Then you have to go their paper in the journal, which is already published, which is relevant, which is matching to your subject area, then pick some 2-3 references and put it there that they expect. Okay. And use reference manager, avoid, old references, avoid predatory sources, again, I'm saying, and choose the references from the reputed journals. After all you prepare, this is the checklist. Again, like how I told for journal checklist, the same checklist you have to follow. You have to make sure that whether you have followed a proper, guidelines, and then the structure, numbering, page number, consistency, grammar, and you just read your manuscript before making others to read. Okay. And then additional files. These are all some of the additional files the journals may be requesting: cover letter, title page, supplementary data. Like suppose you have some data where the journal is not able to publish within the given space, you have to give us a supplementary file. So annexes, like how we say, when they click it, we will be able to get the information. Then authorship, contribution form, and copyright, all these are some of the electronically filled. So nothing to worry about it. But cover letter is important. So cover letter, it is also an art. Address the correct editor. So it is indirectly you are trying to convince the editor in chief, okay, that your manuscript is having so and so importance. Okay, you are highlighting the importance of that, manuscript. Okay. And you have to explain why this work is important, what it contributes, what is the research gap. And it should not be like pages and maybe one page, maximum one page. You have to, one and a half paragraph, you will be able to convey this message. And you have to say ethical, clearance have been obtained, and declaring there is no conflict of interest, and this manuscript is original and currently not under consideration elsewhere. So all this fact you have to, your cover letter should have. Okay, you are making a polite appeal to the editor-in-chief that your manuscript has something new to be published. Okay, so now see what are all the reasons for rejection. Can I listen from people like why the manuscripts usually gets rejected? Can I have a response from you? Any, you can unmute or chat. I mean, chat or anything is fine.
No
No
task.
novelty. Okay, poor manuscript, fine.
No task with the scope of the journal.
Not within the scope of the journal.
Methodology wrong.
Methodology, very good, excellent. Not sticking with the guidelines, fine. Not specific to the journal, okay. Duplication, fine, excellent. Then anything else? Very lengthy. Plagiarism, fine. Wrong reference, yes, fine. Fine. Lack structure of the particular journal. Poor analysis, excellent. Absence of authenticity, fine. Fine, excellent, excellent. Okay, almost the results are not replicative, fine. Okay, fine. Lack of scientific significance, fine. Fine, fine. Thank you. Thank you all for the response. Almost you have told the reasons. Let me show the reasons from my side. Lack of originality, poor methodology, inadequate literature review. Okay, so here the background section and also in the discussion, you need to have a proper literature. Okay. And weak augmentation. Like again, we must argue why this research is important. Why? Okay, and that happens in the introduction section and also in the discussion section. Ethical concepts. Failure to meet the journal criteria, not within the journal scope. Okay, inappropriate, scope or fit, and you are not formatted the journal manuscript as per the journal's expectations. You're not meeting the journal criteria. Language, writing quality. Of course, we are not English speaking. We are all like Indian, but there are some online softwares are available, Grammarly softwares that are paid, and then Quillbot, there is a software that can be used, and there are also people, they charge per page maybe 100 rupees, 200 rupees. But there are highly professional by the elsewhere people, they are very expensive. We can't afford. But you can catch all of the people, those are working in the press and media people. There are people, okay, and they will edit and give. Maybe your institution, your own institution having such facilities where they'll charge 100 rupees per page. Your manuscript is, 13, 14 page, you may have to pay 1,400 rupees. Okay, so at least you will get some basic error corrected. And then, we don't address the reviewer feedback properly after it is going for peer review. Yeah, all these are some of the, and then, limited space. And again, say not within the scope, lack of structure, inappropriate analysis, plagiarism, author instruction not followed, methodology inappropriate, not detailed enough, and references lacking, heavy self-citations, citing our own paper several times. How to overcome? How to overcome? How will you overcome rejections? What you will do? Can you share few thoughts? If your manuscript is rejected, what you will do? If your manuscript is rejected, what you will do? What is your next step? Improve writing quality, move to the other journal. Excellent. Rewrite, modify, fine, excellent. Check the guidelines, proper in-depth review, fine. Next. See the review reason, excellent, fine. Okay, rewrite by follow the review, find the flaws, methodology check. Okay, fine, very good, excellent. Thank you all. Rejection is very common. First, I'll tell you, rejection is very common. Do not despair. It's the most common in publishing process. If your manuscript was out of scope, please submit to the most suitable journal. You don't need to do anything. Maybe your journal selection was not right. And as you told, some of you are told, consider the reviewer comments. Consider, like always, you select some journal of Q1 in nature, which is having good impact factor. And if it is not getting succeeded there, they will give you some comments and reviews, which might be suitable, feasible for you to review or, rewrite, restructure your manual. Do that. And go to the next level, Q2. Submit it. You will be able to succeed. Okay. And sometimes you can appeal if you feel strongly about it, if the reviewers have not recommended your manuscript, and you can also appeal, but most of the time in the rejection mail itself, they will tell this is the last decision, like that. If suppose it is not mentioned anything like that, you can re-appeal. And some journals they will accept also. It's like a BMC group of journals. But only thing is it is time. Again, you have to wait for some time for the peer review and things like that. And have plan B. Okay, choose journal A was not working for me. Plan B next. Don't worry. Avoid plagiarism and strictly comply to the author and reporting guidelines. Okay. Check your manuscript for the flaws and ensure grammar and spelling are correct. Okay. Ensure that your manuscript is written kind of a story. Like don't write bits and pieces. Don't like cut copy paste like that. Don't do that. Okay, it should be like a story in the form of reading, and there should be connections between your introduction to the conclusion. Okay. Response to the reviewers is very important. Okay, don't take lightly. Okay, never leave any comment unanswered. Okay? You have to point by point. You have to comment. You have to make a table. Okay, left column and then the right column. Okay, by rows you have to, for each point you have to add rows. What is the comments response to the reviewers? Like that, you put a title, then create a table. Okay, reviewer 1, then table. Okay, comment response. Okay, what is their comments? Copy their comments, whatever they have given, then you give a response just right side. Likewise, reviewer 1, reviewer 2, reviewer 3. You have to acknowledge their comments. Thank you for your response, for your valuable suggestions. Okay, uh, and if suppose if you are not able to change that, if you are strongly feel that what you have done is right, be polite in language. We have not done this for the so and so reason, like that they'll accept. Okay, but don't be very rough. Okay, and also in the manuscript you have to mention. Some of the journal will ask you to highlight in some different color. Highlight in yellow color. Okay, or mention at the page. It is better you also mention the page number also, like we have addressed this issue. Concern and same. Okay, so and today they are giving comments. So for example, today they are giving comments, and don't be over enthusiastic and next day go and submit a manuscript, which means that they will learn, oh, this fellow, this person is not done anything, just wanted to have a publication. Okay, they give you minimum 2 weeks time. Okay, at least take a week time. Okay, and read and understand the comments. Okay, try to address each comment. At least 2, 3 days, 4 days, week. After a week time, you submit the revision back. You don't submit it. Don't be over enthusiastic. Then I mean, you'll get the love letter soon of rejection. Okay. So use research tools like these days, even AI is there, but for reference manager, you can use Mendeley is a free, Zotero is a free, EndNote is there, some are paid. Okay, and for it will reduce the burden of writing and also research reference management, because when you journal to journal, you need not to change it manually. If you have the reference manager with you, with the reference manager you can change the pattern easily. And AI, yes, of course, there are tools are available, but however, these days authenticate and then Turnitin can very well detect whether this paper was written by AI or not. Even it also gives the percentage. I generally don't advise, use of AI for, writing the manuscript. Okay. And Grammarly, you all know it's a software which can correct the grammar error, and you can use it. Free version is available, but it has a limited. And also there is one more software, Quillbot is a software that is available. You can use that also. Cost is not very high. Quillbot is something around 4,000 per year for 12 months. So if you are that much interested, maybe 4 or 5 people can join together and buy it. Okay. And three key to success. Okay, your manuscript, which has a clear and useful message and has a logical manner. You've written your manuscript in a logical way, and that is easy to read. How to succeed? My personal experience, I always address this slide whenever I talk about publication strategies. First one is hard work. Nothing comes free. Okay, you have to spend time, you have to read, you have to prepare, and you have to spend time, good time, quality time. You must justify that work. Okay, everything is possible, nothing is impossible. Through hard work, you can definitely make it. Impossible is nothing. Patience. Okay, so over the night, wonders cannot happen. Okay, it takes time. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Do not despair. Do not be, unhappy with rejections. Okay. Failures teaches. So, you submit 3, 4 times, all 3, 4 journals are rejecting, and then, oh, I don't want to publish. What is this publication like that? Just like that, don't throw away. Have patience. Fight. Okay. You must persevere. I should not give up. Somehow I should publish. That fighting attitude should have in your mind. Big things always takes time. Great things always takes time. Likewise, publication also is a great thing. Okay, so if you publish, you're going to be recognized. You're going to become famous. You're going to be cited. Your research work will be viewed by from different countries. Go and if you have a research gate, your research gate profile will tell you who all the researchers read your article, from which country they are, from geographical wise details will be. You wanted to enjoy, reap those fruits. Yes, then you have to have, the continued efforts. Okay. I'd like to end my talk with this quote, legend of our nation. Okay, was a great role model, the pioneer, and who's inspiration to many souls, starting from small child to the young, elder people. Okay, to succeed in your mission, you must have a single-minded devotion to your goal. If you wanted to success, if you wanted to succeed, you must devote yourself. You must work hard. You must work hard. You must spend time and have strong determination. Definitely you will succeed. Definitely. I'm sure some of you maybe already have published, some of you maybe novice wanted to publish, but do not give up. Try to have the fighting attitude, okay, and follow the strategies, whatever I just highlighted, and hope you'll be able to succeed in your mission, and you all will be having a quality and meaningful publications in the years to come. Thank you all so much for your patience listening. Hope the content was useful, and I I did the justification by highlighting the strategies for high impact publications. And if there are any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be able to answer if I can.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a very impactful and very informative session. Request participants to interact with the sir, the best person to guide you and answer your question. Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am. So I couldn't hear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session. If any participant has any question or any suggestions or anything, please ask your doubts and clarify it here. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I have a query, sir. You have told that we can do the publication in the mode of subscription also. So, like for citations, it will be affecting, no, sir? So I have
No,
that always.
yeah, that is true. Always open access publications will fetch you more number of citations comparing to subscription based. But however, it's not always limitation, and still you can go for subscription. That will also fetch you publication. For example, in fact, one of the systematic review, which I did not publish it in subscription, I mean open access, something a part of my PhD publication, preoperative education for CABG patients. So in fact, that is systematic review article has fetched to more than 90 plus citations in Scopus. So, however, of course, as you said, when you have open access publication, the number of citations that you are going to yield is will be more.
Okay, sir. It was a concern and pulling us back to always go for open access, like instead
Salami,
of subscription.
yeah. Somebody asked about salami effect. Yes, salami is one of the uh, you know um, uh, problem many people will do. You have 4 5 objectives. Each objective splitting into small pizza. Instead of serving the entire pizza, small piece cut into small piece and publish. But that is not advisable. In fact, but however, people wanted to have in the early career, they wanted to have too many publications. Make sure that at least it has considerable amount of outcome variables. Okay, at least if you don't have at least some 2 3 outcome variables in your study, your journal people will not accept the uh, manuscript. So salami, if you ask me, I will not advise you to go for salami. Don't cut into pieces. Okay, try to publish your even if you have single publication in Q1, that is equivalent to having a publication of 10 in Q4. Okay, so quantity also important. I mean, maybe in the beginning, in the earlier career stage, you need to have a quantity, but as you build your, a career, you may have to move towards quality. Any other questions?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I thank you for such an informative session. I have a doubt. You said that in your presentation that we have to give more preference to the last 10 years journals while citation.
Yeah.
So, if suppose some author has actually used an methodology for the first time, and some people would have quoted that methodology for many times in the next journals. So, whether we should give the credit to the actual author who have done some 20 years back or 15 years back, or we can use the recently published paper for that methodology.
Yeah, that is called as milestone citation. So you can use that old citation itself, no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Because that's what milestone, you are using a tool. Yes. The tool was invented in 1990. You can cite it, no problem.
Okay.
You cannot give it the credit
So
to
it
another.
will not
No,
it will
that will
not allow our article
No,
for
no,
more
no.
rejections, right?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you so much.
So any other questions?
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Sheila Pavitri, the Vice Principal of Amrita College of Nursing, to say a few words about the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. And today, as we have come to the close of this session on strategies for publishing in high impact journals, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Ramesh Chandra Babu, for sharing his invaluable knowledge, practical strategies, and personal experience in scientific publishing. And also, he has explained this in a very simple manner, which was very useful to all of us. And as you all know, we are currently involved in research, and we successfully conduct so many research studies. However, one of the main reason or the challenge that we face is publishing our work in a highly reputed journal and with a high impact. Especially when it comes to Amrita, significant importance is given to publication in index, the publication that are indexed in Scopus index journals, as well as that are ranked in Q1 and Q2 quartiles. And at the same time, we are not giving much importance to the publications of predatory journals for academic evaluation. And I know that there are many other institutions like us who go for ranking, and also all they are also having the same problem. This is one of the great inspiration for us to organize a webinar on this particular topic. And I am confident that today's session was useful to most of all of us, and we'll be able to take many of the lessons that we have learned from this today's session in our publication. And at the same time, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to all the participants for their enthusiastic involvement. And some of you have had queries, and thank you for your interactions. And we are especially very happy that we have had participants from many institutions, academic institutions, then from different cadre, and all, including members from military nursing services. And your involvement and participation was great for making this today's session very useful. And at the same time, I take this opportunity to sincerely thank and congratulate our principal, Dr. K.T. Molly, who could not attend the program because Madam is traveling right now. So Madam could not attend the webinar today. So I congratulate Madam for choosing this very appropriate topic for today's webinar. And I also thank and appreciate all the organizing members, organizing committee for meticulously planning and successfully conducting this webinar today, because their dedication, teamwork, even the attention, even the minute details have made this program very successful. And once again, I express my heartfelt thanks to the esteemed resource person, the participants, and the organizing committee, and all those who are directly or indirectly involved in this today's webinar. Wish you all the best and for your future scholarly pursuits. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me as a resource person. And hope the session was useful. And all the very best for the upcoming conference and also for the upcoming webinar series. And indeed, it was my great privilege to be a resource person to Amrita College of Nursing, Institute of National, the status accorded, Institute of Eminence status accorded by MHRD. So thank you all so much, and thank all the organizing team for the meticulous organization. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I request everyone to stay here just for 2 minutes. As we informed earlier, we will provide participant resource kit and certificates on Monday. Along with that, we will share the content also. Now, we proudly share our poster of our second preamble series. The preamble series is on. The second series is on, as I mentioned in the beginning, SPSS data analysis in research. And the speaker is Dr. Prabhuth Goyal. He is a professor from pediatric surgery from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. This is a 3-day program from 6 to 8 p.m. And you will get have hands-on skill workshop, and you will get lifetime access to SPSS software. So we will and also INC credit hours. We'll circulate this in the same group, or it will be online interactive session where he will be making you to participate and to practice the SPSS, how to use it in the continuous 3 days program, that is total 6 hours program. Okay, thank you so much for participating, and it was really like the overwhelming responses from you were very like it's encouraging for us, and we had 235 participants, like which was out of our expectation. Thank you so much for making it as a grand success. See you on next workshop. As Suja mentioned, we will be sharing the participant certificate, the kit, and the content on Monday. Thank you.
So before we leave, if you are able to turn on your video, we can take a small screenshot.
Half of the participants left. Have you taken it, Tanisha?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. You may leave now. Thank you.
അവര് ലീവ് ചെയ്തു